will most likely go one diamond by Greco, typical precision diamond opening. Hampson is probably only worth the one no trump bid, and if so, that will end the auction. Hampson judged his hand to be worth a two no trump invitational, opposite on assumed 11 to 13. Well, with the ace-10 fifth of clubs, maybe he's worth it. Close call. Greco, with the 12 count and two reasonably four-card suits, accepts the invite, typical aggressive bidding, and with the favorable club holding, very favorable club holding, it might make. However, the club suit isn't as nice as it looks. We can see that he can take four club tricks, but after it goes jack, queen, ace, he'll be inclined to probably play Rodwell for queen 9 third and hook to the 8. Next drop definitely got off to the most effective lead. This will set up an immediate spade trick for the defense, so that Hampson takes the diamond finesse and it loses. Rodwell will have the fourth round of spades in. So it's actually not clear which minor suit Hampson is going to attack. There's something to be said for taking the diamond finesse and then going after hearts and forgetting about the club suit. Rodwell played the 8 of spades at trick one. I'm not exactly sure just why he did that or what that's supposed to convey. But I imagine Maxstruth will continue, largely because he knows Hampson doesn't have four spades and nothing else is attractive. But Maxstruth did shift. This might not be so good for the defense. Now that fourth spade isn't set up when Rodwell gets in with the king of diamonds. Now, what could happen is as follows. Say it goes diamond to the queen king, spade to the queen king, and another spade to Hampson. If Hampson now attacks hearts with heart to the jack, heart to the ace, and another heart finesse, Rodwell's got a little discarding problem on that fourth round of hearts. In the third round, he can throw a club, but on the fourth round, he really will be squeezed, and that will let the contract make, I believe. I think Rodwell gave the wrong signal. I think they play standard signals there. I think he should have encouraged as much as possible with the 10. He really gave his partner a difficult problem. Hampson got the hearts right, but now will he get the clubs right? Here we go. As feared, he did in fact lose to the nine of clubs, and now he's not going to make it anyway.
Hi, Kit. Hopefully I do not have any more continuing problems with my microphone.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Doing well. Kit and I go way back. He volunteered a great deal of his time to help mentor some of the U.S. juniors back when I was in the program, and I got to know him well then. It was almost 20 years ago now.
Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
So North has a fantastic hand for Fantan. Fortunately, not completely horrible for Bridge. South will open a nebulous diamond, and I expect West has a problem about whether or not to overcall two clubs or one no trump. What do you think? What would you do over a nebulous diamond with the West hand, Kit?
I would overcall two clubs. Of course, part of that might be that my one no trump doesn't mean this, but I have a feeling that in their style they will overcall a no trump.
Maybe a point light, but it's got good texture with both the nine of diamonds, a potential source of tricks and clubs. It doesn't really have a lot of positional advantages to being a no trump for your side, but it could also be a difficult hand to defend. So we'll see how Mextrith handles it.
My objection to bidding a no trump is that if the opponent's now bid a major, now you don't know what to do, and if partner bids a major, you could still be in the wrong contract. Anyway, he did overcall a no trump. North shoved in a two-heart bid. Rodwell made a negative double. South might raise or might not, and then we'll see what happens.
Well, South hasn't not been doubled here yet, and he had a spade link, so well, he raised to three hearts. I'm actually surprised he didn't pass to put the pressure on West.
Well, except it doesn't really put that much pressure on him. Certainly Mextreth isn't going to sit.
If he bids two spades, you might not be all that sad about that development.
Why? Partner could have six hearts in his first spade. You're not that happy about that. I think, if anything, three hearts might put more pressure on them. Now I might get a three-spade bid out of him, and now you'll be very happy. On the bidding, Nickell is certainly going to get the hearts right. So it looks like three hearts is just going to quietly make, and in fact make more after the opening lead. With the spades being good, he chooses not to waste an entry for the heart finesse, which he doesn't know if is winning or not, because he doesn't really need it at this point.
In the last quarter, Eric Greco won a swing for his side when he led queen from queen third. It's unlikely that Rodwell has led a tricky jack of spades on this hand, however. He's known to hold spade length, and it would be bizarre to lead the jack from jack fourth. So I think Nickell could be completely confident that it's the normal lead from queen jack fourth.
They, I believe, play Rusino and suits in which they have shown length. Do you know if that's correct, Mike?
I'm checking that right now.
Notice, by the way, the potential power of the five of spades here.
The convention card seems to indicate that the Rusino would not apply in this situation, but it still probably is not fooling anyone.
Well, the defense can shift the clubs after cashing the diamond, but the five of spades will set up in time for the fourth spade trick. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. The five of spades isn't important. Never mind. It would be if there were no entry to the hard entry to the south hand.
So with a distributional 6-4 hand, that's a very strong hand to be opening a precision 2 clubs with. Would you open that a precision club or 2 clubs, Ket?
I'd open it 2 clubs. I don't think it's too strong. I mean, the club sit's pretty weak. If I open 1 club, I'm just too likely to get overboard when partner has a positive response and we don't have a great fit.
If he opens 2 clubs, it's likely to go continue pass to East, and East has a problem whether or not to balance with 2 hearts.
North isn't passing. North is not going to pass. North will raise in whatever way they raise. With a no 9-card fit, he's not going to let the opponents in easily.
North-South, even with that dreadful North hand, North-South actually have play for game and clubs.
The 2-note trump bid, by the way, it forces South to bid 3 clubs. It's either planning on signing off in 3 clubs or some other type of good hand. I don't know what their algorithm is there.
The fact that North with a 4-3-3 hand and one working king actually offers play for 11 tricks in a club contract speaks to the vast playing strength of the South hand when it finds a fit.
Well, your idea of play for 11 tricks with both the ace queen of diamonds on side and the clubs 2-2, that's not such a great play.
I think you can actually Declare can pitch a diamond from dummy on the 4th round of spades. Only needs to find the correct diamond on or on side with clubs 2-2.
Oh, okay. That's not so much.
It's still a lot, but it's at play, and if partner has a pretty dreadful hand, and partner might not try for a game with somewhat more.
Yeah, but now imagine the various 10 counts partner might have with one or club games, or even 8 or 9 counts, and game's going to be pretty grisly.
Well, can this be sort of like a weak point in big club systems where these sort of middling good distributional hands with long clubs sort of are preempting yourself when you open 2 clubs?
Yes and no. It depends what you hit around the table. You know, sometimes the 2 club bid preempts the opponent. Sometimes whatever. I mean, you know, look at this hand. The opponent's got knocked out of a 9-card heart fit.
Levin and Weinstein are at the other table? I'm not seeing names.
Yes, they are. Levin Weinstein versus Platnick and Diamond.
So I would expect a natural 1-club opening bid and possibly a light shape takeout double, but probably not red against white. Probably go to club pass a heart. Look at the auctions themselves. But I don't see them getting anywhere close to game in a natural auction either. Of course, you don't really want to be in game on these cards.
No, and as it happens, the 1-heart response will steal the heart suit, and they'll just wind up in a club heart score. The likely push.
So very quick packs from Mexroth over the Tuno Trump response when he actually would like to maybe direct a diamond lead. I know they use double here of 1 heart past Tuno Trump to suggest spades. So I expect their double here of Tuno Trump would probably ask for a heart lead. So by passing, it is vulnerable. I've been known to overcall quite light on 4-card suits, and the opponent's forcing Tuno Trump auctions to direct a lead. They never can seem to penalize you.
Yeah, the problem is they can penalize you in this day and age. And he doesn't even necessarily know that he wants a diamond lead. It wouldn't occur to me that this.
Well, North-South can take about as many tricks as they want to on this lie of the cards.
Let's see, on a draw trump and claim approach, they have 6 spade tricks, 1 heart is 7, 4 clubs they'll take is 11, and a diamond is 12. That looks like a slam. I doubt if they'll bid a grand slam. But if they do, I guess they can make it. I think 3 clubs shows a minimum, and 3 diamonds says, tell me more, and Hansen is certainly interested in more.
With the trumps 3-1, a grand might come down to declare needing to take the roughing, finesse, and hearts for its 13th trick.
Right. I just counted 12 tricks to, assuming, what I call a draw trumps and claim approach. In other words, draw as many as you can, draw the trumps and see what you have left. Then you'd have 6 spade winners, 4 club winners when they set up, 1 heart, and 1 diamond is 12 tricks. So you need a 13th somewhere. How we play for that 13th isn't so clear.
So looking at the cards, do you want to be in 7? Just the north-south cards, of course. Looking at the east-west one that I do, but...
Probably not. Hard to say. No, I don't think so. So he gets his diamond lead safely.
Well, north-south probably could make 3 diamonds redoubled, but would not be sufficient compensation for their vulnerable slam.
This 4 diamond bid presumably ignores the double and says, I'm 5-5. After that, I think Hampson is just going to try to slam. And he'll be considering a grand. When he finds out he has all the key cards, that means he knows he doesn't have any losers. It's just a question of will he have enough winners.
You might think that with the double of 4 diamonds on his left, it means that the queen of clubs is not likely to be there, and that if they need the club finesse, it's going to be onside. He may take an aggressive approach and bid 7.
However, the 4 diamond bid says it shows a heart, splinter, and something else. That he's not going to like very much. He needed to know about the 5-5.
Splintering with a stiff ace is not always the best approach because it does mean that a king in partner's hand is not necessarily wasted.
Yeah, but it still shows you've got the control of this suit. Sometimes partner has 3 small, and all of a sudden now his hand is good.
Well, he's located the stiff ace now in response to their key card auction. So South could ask for a king, which with 5-no trump, he'd really like to find out about 3rd round club control. With 6 clubs probably asks for that. So I think we may see a 6 club call from South.
I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it wouldn't be so unreasonable for South just to bid the grand, taking the view that it's going to be at worst on a club finesse and might be a lot better. Those are pretty good odds, provided he's convinced they'll be in a small at the other table.
Jan is noting that there's a possible bidding misunderstanding with north-south about what 4 diamonds showed. If South thinks that north has diamond shortness, that actually makes the grand odds somewhat worse.
He knows
he didn't bid it.
He knows it's not diamond shortness. He certainly wouldn't have been bidding the grand or even thinking about it. Opposite that, a good odds bid by Hampson. I like it.
All right, and we have clarification from Jan that there was no bidding misunderstanding, that North actually showed a hand like what he held.
Well, you asked how to play 7 spades. Now we have to figure it out. 6 is just so easy to play.
Well, Eric's playing it, so I don't expect that we're going to see a card played to trick 2 anytime soon.
Well, let's see. If he plays ace-king of clubs and roughs the club, early or late, Uh, if the club's a 3-3 from his point of view, it'd still be a trick short. So maybe he's supposed to just try to rough out the diamonds. Let's see, can he do that? No. He'd have to rough 3 diamond tricks.
Yeah, and then you're roughing with a big trump, which is bad. So I think he needs either a rain in the club suit. Well, then he'll still need if he roughs 2 diamonds in dummy along the way, he doesn't have a late entry to the clubs.
No, he's going to basically, I think, have to draw trumps, go after clubs. Let's essentially do what we said. Draw trumps, see how many club tricks he can get, and if he needs the roughing, finesse and hearts, takes it. I don't see anything better.
Is there something to be said for taking the club finesse, trying for 5 club tricks?
When the stade's a 3-1, I think that's probably the right play. Which also gains if there's queen 4th on side. If the spades were 2-2, then probably ace king and ruffle club would be better.
So what we might see here is Eric make a grand slam and take 2 winning finesses along the way.
Hey, if they're winning, that's what counts. At any rate, on this lie of the cards, I don't really see a sensible losing line of play. Do you, Mike?
The only thing that could get him in trouble is if he puts himself in a position to be to promote the jack of spades on a 3rd round of clubs. I don't think he's going to play it in such a way that could happen.
Well, certainly not after the queen of clubs drops. He's not.
It would be quite a false card from queen 10 small. I don't think anyone would find it.
Or admit it if they did, huh? Maybe.
Yes, indeed.
No, I don't think it can ever really be right.
Well, if he finesses the jack of clubs and then cashes the ace, East playing the queen of clubs doesn't mean anything. He's just playing the card he's known to hold. He could easily have queen 10 3rd and play the queen there.
Yeah, but I mean, if he does that, he'll just be drawing trumps, so it won't make any difference.
There is that East will be out of trumps at the position that he would be making his false card. And I overheard you discussing the time issues during the last quarter, and I wholly agree with you that especially at the finals of a knockout or even in any of the late stages, having a director at the table seems like really efficient, and that a player in a touch-and-go grand slam ought to be able to have as much time as they want without a penalty, but the people who are pigging it out for an over trick and 3-no trump and wasting 10 minutes really deserve to take it.
Yes, except it doesn't happen. The directors sit out there in the hallway twiddling their thumbs or doing whatever they do, and then when there's 15 minutes to go, they come in and hover over the players and warn them, and this accomplishes nothing. Anyway, back to this hand. It's more complicated than I thought because he can't really draw 3 rounds of trumps, set up the clubs, get back there, and then take the roughing finesse and hearts. He's an entry short for all this. So let's rethink this whole hand.
Sometimes double dummy is harder than single dummy. Well, what if he takes a club finesse at trick 2 and then roughs the club back to his hand?
Low or high?
Well, the club finesse wins, so you're going to rough a club low because you're still going to.
No.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. The club finesse wins. You have 2 clubs in your hand. You're following to the club. So that would be the path to defeat. Play a club to the jack, ace of clubs, and rough a club with a spot. You would go down quickly.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's going to make it. reconsider this. Uh, yeah, he doesn't really have the entries to set up the club and take the roughing, finesse, and hearts when clubs produce only 4 tricks. I made a little miscount there.
So maybe a double dummy, he needs to finesse the club, ace of clubs, rough the club high, and finesse the spades back to the board, unblock ace hearts, finesse the spades back to the board, and take a roughing, finesse, and hearts. That's the route, a route that does arrive at 13 tricks, but an impossible one to find at the table. Well, you wouldn't want to play a team with someone who played like that.
Well, if he's going to take the roughing, finesse, and hearts, he can do that first safely and then draw trumps.
Sure, he could cash the ace of hearts, play a spade to the ace, and take a roughing, finesse, and hearts right away. Presumably pitching a club on that, and then play make a play in the club suit, club to the ace, and rough a club. That's sort of a combining play.
Maybe the right line of play is to cash the ace of hearts, take 2 rounds of spades ending in dummy, seeing how the spades split, and when you see the spades split badly, then you're probably going to need the roughing, finesse, and hearts, so you take it. Or is that being too ridiculous?
The more you look at the hand, the worse the contract looks. And Greco is looking deeply into the hand, and I don't expect him to be making a play soon, even though he's already spent quite a great deal of time contemplating this hand.
Good Lord, I could see him spending 20 minutes in this hand. I mean, this hand is the match from his point of view, right here. I mean, this is probably 30 ins on how he plays this, and he knows it.
So if you draw 3 rounds of trumps ending in the dummy, unblock ace of hearts, draw 3 rounds of trump ending in the dummy, and see their 3-1, take the roughing, finesse, and hearts, I think you can just then rough the club good to make the contract that way.
Right, and that's actually what I think he's supposed to do. Maybe. Or maybe take 2 rounds of trumps ending in your hand, and depending on how the spades lie, who has the long spades, might be right to then follow with a club finesse, particularly if West has the long spades.
With the East.
Well, one thing for sure, this is very complicated.
I think we need Michael Rosenberg or someone else who can do their percentages super fast to come figure it out for us, because I can't figure it out.
I would bet that Michael Rosenberg would be taking the same amount of time in this hand as Greco is taking, if not more so. He may be headed for a losing line here. I'm not sure.
He might still be able to untangle it, I'm not sure. If he plays a heart to the ace right now, he certainly can't play a third round of clubs without being doubled on me from here on out.
Right, so he should unblock the... So he should, now that he knows the club position, he should unblock the heart, test the spades, and then he'll see if he needs the roughing, finesse, and hearts, which will be the case.
Right, he takes the roughing,
no, he's not entry.
Right, he can take the roughing, finesse, and hearts before drawing the last trump. He could take
exactly.
Ace hearts, take 2 rounds of trumps, take a roughing, finesse, and hearts, and then go back to the third round of trumps to rough the club.
Right, this was the sort of thing I was thinking about before, although not testing clubs first.
Well, he's much better placed having not finessed the club, since now he knows the queen of clubs is a true card.
Oh, he would have been in the same position if he had finessed the club, actually, because then he'd have the late club entry when he needed it.
I'm comparing to having finessed the jack of clubs, then cashed the ace. The queen of clubs would be not clearly a true card.
Yeah, but if finesse the jack of clubs first and it won, there'd be no reason not to draw trumps and unblock the hearts and draw trumps. I think. Oh, maybe that's not true. Yeah, I see your point. He now goes in knowing exactly what he has in the club suit.
And I think he can tangle with the order. I think he could play. Oh no, he can't play 2 rounds. He needs to play the third round of diamonds, third round of trumps.
He's got it right.
Third round of clubs.
He's got it right. He's now going to play queen of spades, spade of the ace. And now he knows he needs the roughing, finesse, and hearts, and he'll take it. Very well done.
Hand actually took a fair bit less time than I thought it would.
I think he's just double checking now, but he knows what he needs. And there it is. Really well done by Eric.
So South rates to be in third seat after 2 passes, and will have a choice whether to open 1 heart, 1 club, or 4 hearts. And I think the normal thing to do is to open 4 with an 8-card suit. That gives West a real headache, but I think West just has to double. And then East has a problem as to whether to bid 4 spades or to pass.
Incidentally, they did stop in the small slam at the other room. So it's going to be 13 inch for diamonds.
Well, South has opened a strong club with a very strong hand, with lots of playing strength, but not much in the way of defense.
If he had opened four hearts, Nextroth would probably know to pass because he doesn't figure to be missing a game, considering that his partner didn't open and they opened pretty light.
They open at 10 to 12 no trump, and sometimes with fewer than 10 high card points in this position, right?
I don't think they play 10 to 12 at all, but I might be wrong.
Oh, it is no longer on their card. I'm still defending against Mextreth Rodwell version 96.
So here we are in four hearts on the diamond guess. Unfortunately, it's a difficult one to guess right.
I don't think there's any legitimate position Declare can get on the West hand for an end play. I don't think that any illegitimate position will succeed against this pair. I expect that Declare will just at some point use the spade ace as an entry and play a diamond off and guess wrong, so as it is.
Well, Eric might play the queen of clubs and then a club to the jack and a diamond through, getting it over with quickly. Although, from Eric's point of view, he'd actually rather see a spade through. So it's not clear what he's going to do. Although if Declare happened to have 9 hearts and avoiding spades, then a spade through wouldn't be such a good idea. So maybe he should play the queen. I'm not sure why he's playing the 8, actually.
Well, let's see.
Well, this jack of clubs. This jack is definitely suit preference. And remember, they play upside down suit preference.
And he's raised clubs, so his partner knows that he has queen jack small at this point, so that's suit preference for spades.
Oh, he'll run all the trumps but one and then play a spade to the ace, and then this gets the diamonds.
Nextreth with the ace queen of diamonds knows there's no reason for him to possibly switch to a spade. If his partner has a spade trick, then they'll get that and a diamond, and if his partner has 5 spades, it could cost the contract. So there can never be there's no case in which case it gains for the West hand to shift to the spade.
Right. Partner's signal is not a command. It's simply what looks best from his point of view. Then you have to look at your cards and look at the hand and decide what is best for the defense.
Interestingly, the play in 6 spades at the other table has not been instant. We see that contract is not cold, so Declare does well to take his time thinking there.
Well, there the roughing finesse and hearts does seem right, because that sets up another trick. Of course, you don't have the entries for both that and the wall and clubs. Well, I mean, you do if the cards lie, but you don't know that. So, I don't know.
you can afford to be overruffed on the club in 6.
Not really. I mean, once you play the ace king of clubs and the queen drops, now you just have 12 tricks with the ruffing, finesse, and hearts. You have 6 trump tricks and 2 hearts and 3 clubs and 1 diamond. Period.
Right. So drawing trumps and claiming that, well, as long as you time it right, you actually can't draw all the trumps until you've taken your ruffing, finesse, and hearts.
Yes, you can. Once the queen of clubs drops.
If you've taken the ace king of clubs and you draw all the trumps, then take the ruffing, finesse, and hearts, you'll still be an entry short to ruff both the heart. If they cover the heart, you won't be able to get back to dummy to ruff a club and then get it back there to catch them.
That's the 13 tricks. Remember, in the small slam, you don't need the 4th club. That's the way he played it in the Grand Slam. Anyway, 6 has to make. That's clear. The normal week 2 bid freezes everybody out here.
Looks like you ought to be able to take 8 tricks here with losing 2 tricks in each minor and a spade. Or no spade, as the case may be. So he can't really get to his hand to do what he wants. I guess he'll get overruffed on the 3rd round of diamonds trying to get there. So maybe the spade shift didn't cost after all.
Well, he's just trying to set up a long diamond so he doesn't have to take the heart finesse.
I think Rodwell knows the distribution on the hand, can just pin Declarer and dummy with a spade. But Declarer is going to come to 8 tricks regardless.
No, he'll probably just come back a diamond. Why wouldn't he?
Well, Declarer can't really have the queen of hearts where you've taken the 10 of spades, the ace of spades, crossed the queen of hearts, and drawn trumps. So it can't really lose to pin Declarer and dummy with a spade.
Unless Declarer has a 3rd club. And then it doesn't lose either, is what you're saying. Okay, I'm convinced.
Might it be possible your partner's spades are king 9/3 instead of queen 9/3? Would it help then if you to pin dummy Declarer, because then partner's spade trick's natural, so Declarer can still take a heart finesse if it's available to him. But if you set up a diamond trick and dummy by playing a diamond, then you can blow the contract.
That's the argument for the diamond return, though, if partner is king 9/3 of spades, isn't it? Oh, no. Right. I don't think anything matters.
Well, if partner has king and 1 spade left and the king 10 of and the queen 10 of hearts, that's a situation where the defense has some hope. And if you shift to a diamond, then Declarer can play discard his heart loser while your partner ruffs his natural trump trick.
Yeah, but the point is, if Nextruff had that spade holding, he wouldn't be playing a club now. He'd just play another spade. Anyway, Rodwell made your analysis.
It's like East-West have sort of a four-spade contract that will make most days when spades are 2-2 and go down when they're not. The 5-2 heartbreak makes, and 3-1 spade break means that it could go down more than one. This is sort of a vulnerable game. People tend to bid at amps, and you want to be there.
Are you sure it won't make in practice? Is it that obvious for North to go up ace of clubs when the club is led? Probably depends what's happened earlier.
Yeah, it depends on the auction, and if West is showing a 5-5 hand, then yeah, I think North goes up with the ace of clubs. But of course, South opens one heart, and you'll never find out that West has 5 hearts now. So, and North is probably going to lead a heart and not a diamond. So, Nickell may indeed steal the king of clubs. I'm not sure you're home yet with all the hearts you have to rough, but North is roughing in front of dummy, so maybe you probably are home then.
I think the question may be when he tries to steal it.
I expect Rodwell.
Probably.
They always did 2-0, not 4 spades. I would just blast game, and they always make game did this 2-0 trump game try.
I'm pretty much with you on that. It seems to me when you have a singleton, it just doesn't pay to invite because partner never really knows how to evaluate anyway, so you just bid it. And I mean, these guys always bid game. Or maybe they're guarding against a really light overcall.
I don't know if their overcall could be heavy enough that slam would be in the picture.
Well, Greco's going to be completely in the dark. He won't even know where the king of hearts is.
I think we'll see a club at trick 2.
I think so, too. Note that if Nickell does steal the club trick, he will be able to set up a long diamond, which may be the necessary trick he needs to dispose of that last small heart.
So Levin made an over trick in 6 spades. He won the opening heart lead in his hand and crossed the ace of clubs and took a roughing finesse and hearts at trick 3. More good news came at trick 4 when he cashed the king of clubs and found the queen show up.
It won't be good news when the comparison occurs.
Exactly right. That is when the good news will end for his side.
Here it is.
Perhaps for being in just 6, that was too much good news in the play.
Now Rodwell's just going to attack diamonds, I think, and he'll have enough tricks.
Well,
very difficult for Greco to get it right. Sort of unlucky that he had just the ace of clubs and nothing else, and that his partner opened the bidding. So if Declare had jack double in the clubs, he would figure to get it wrong.
Greco considering various different losing options at this point. So from the North perspective, you want there to still be a chance for the defense. So what construction do you make that gives your defense still a chance?
Well, this construction, except Declare having a second club. And another classic 1-no trump opener.
Kind of like opening 1-no with a stiff queen. It just seems to always pick up a trick. Well, North South have either a 3 or 500 save in 4 spades, and East West have a rather cold-looking 4-heart contract.
Three diamonds is probably invitational or better in hearts. South's probably just going to bid 4 spades and let the opponents guess, because he knows he's going to take the save anyway.
Well, West is not going to be in a big hurry to defend spades, having 4-card heart support for partner and a singleton spade and a source of tricks. If the queen of clubs moves into diamonds on East hand, then your offensive prospects are much greater East-West.
Yeah, I think Hampson just dogged it there. Now let's see what he does. Well, he's stuck with his guns. I'll say that. But I wouldn't be that happy with that gun. It turns out he's sort of right. His four spades is definitely down two, and I'd have to work out the details, but I think it's down three with proper defense. But the auction might not be stopping there.
My 3-year-old son is now kibitzing as well. For him, we call trumps the super suit because he's into superheroes.
I thought no trumps was the super suit.
I would guess the north hand is going to fall into their 1-0 trump range rather than their strong club range.
Yeah, I guess that's possible. So it's really a pretty big hand with three aces. I don't think I'd mind opening that a clip.
I just peeked at their convention card, and they have the box 5-card majors common with their 1-0 trump opener. Well, 1-0 trump is a safe enough contract. It starts with 7 tricks in aces and kings. I don't think the opponents will pitch enough pointed cards to make it safe to play on clubs. Welcome, Jack. Good to have another voice.
How you doing? A little birdie has told me you need relief to put your kid to bed.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, kid, how are you doing?
Doing fine. Would rather be there, but can't have everything.
My wife graciously agreed to do the bedtimes for both the kids so I could lend my voice to the commentary for slightly longer. Rodwell feels like he's under some pressure here. If he pitches a club, the Jack of Clubs is subject to being pinned, but there's no entry to do that. So I think he's just probably double checking to make sure the card he plays is going to be the right one. He's going with a strategy of keeping winners and throwing losers, tried and tested. Well, this appears to be kind of a trap hand for North-South. If East-West are able to cash their diamond against a club slam, then Declare's going to need the heart finesse, and that's not going to win.
Yeah, it's sort of tough to diagnose that this is the exact distribution. So we'll see where they get here.
The north hand is not so easy to bid after an opening 2-0 trump call.
Well, you're going to have to make some move in clubs, I would think, and South's going to be... Well, is South going to be excited?
He knows that
I think the answer is yes, he will be excited.
I'm not so sure he should be. The club
is nice.
The club length is actually a duplication factor in a strange sense.
That's true, and he does have slow values of the suspect Queen X of diamonds.
Well, the first thing may be to avoid the no trump trap.
Well, I can't see Eric rebidding 3-0 here, so I think that will be pretty easily sidestepped.
Well, once he starts with 3 clubs, he's not doing that.
Obviously, they play some sort of system where there's no inference that you have a 4-card heart suit. For many people, myself included, if I had 3 clubs and then 4 clubs, I have hearts and clubs on the side, and I would have done something else with a 1-suited hand. But that's all a function of what your own system is.
Well, the key question really is going to be, if they get to slam, will Rodwell lead the ace of diamonds? That's what it boils down to.
And also on the auction,
he will now. When West doubles,
South might be afraid to bid 4 hearts here, because could that be an offer to play opposite North's potential suggested heart length? Maybe with 4 bids and 3 hearts and kind of a non-fit.
4 diamonds is key card.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure 4 diamonds is key card. So Hampson really did like his hand. I think his evaluation might be wrong.
I think standard pairs might very well get there. Standard, if you're not going to cheat and open 2-0, goes a club, and then I don't know what, some big club raise by North, and you're kind of off to the races.
Well, no, North will show a diamond splinter, and boy, you'll love that, won't you?
West did not double 4 diamonds, holding an honor and hearts as well. Had he doubled 4 diamonds, then surely we'd see Rodwell lead the ace of diamonds. West hasn't passed 4 diamonds.
What is going on here? Why is he signing off?
There must be something that we're missing. If 4 diamonds is rolling key card, then 4 spades would be, it looks like 1 key card if they're playing regular old 0-3-1-4.
Well, it's hard to argue with success, but it doesn't make any sense to me.
Of course, he doesn't know that they have a diamond control either, so he's gambling somewhat when he blackwoods with, kind of a worthless doubleton anyway.
Well, yeah, but you don't bid key card and then sign off when partner's unlimited, unless you're off 2 key cards. If you didn't think you were worth it, you should be doing anything but bidding key card.
Well, I'm not going to argue that point with you, Kit. I think that point's very well taken. I agree with you.
Rodwell does indeed find the ace of diamonds lead to save a trick.
Well, Rodwell thinks they're just off 2 aces, so he's going to lead the ace he has and see which other ace they're missing.
Well, looking at the dummy, I think it's a pretty good guess which one they're missing. But he's heard the key card response, so I guess with a dummy hit, he recognizes what's happened.
Yeah, I'm talking about when he makes his opening lead, obviously.
Greco says, I have one key card with a diamond control. Sounds like that might have meant that 4 diamonds was doubled. I'm not sure why. Well, whatever. Who can get? I don't know.
If he said that, 4 diamonds must have been doubled. And that's consistent with everything.
Yes. Well, that's a great result. They avoided the no-trump trap. They avoided 6 clubs. So you can't do much better than what they did.
They can. They can get to 6 clubs and not get a diamond lead.
Well, fair.
But you're right. Certainly double dummy, they can't do any better.
I always like to tell partners to leave what I can. That looks like he doubled 4 diamonds to me.
It sure does. That even confirms it more so.
So, Michael and Kit, what do you think about negative free bids? Do you like them, not like them? That's like what 2 hearts is here, natural, non-forcing.
I like them, and particularly playing a limited system. I think they're very strong.
I have 0 experience actually playing them, but I think theoretically they are probably quite strong.
And I've also played them recently in an unlimited system, and still find they work fine.
It's funny for a convention that is probably either break-even or positive expected values, that such a tiny percentage of the bridge population uses it. Whereas you take a convention that's easier to understand, but probably negative EV, like two-way jury, and you find that it's all over the place.
Well, you said it very simply because it's easier to understand.
And people tend to gravitate towards conventions they can easily adopt without thinking, is the convention really good for me?
So meanwhile, what do we think of Rodwell's 3 heart call here?
A little bit big, I think. I don't know what his other options were. If 3 spades was some sort of mixed raise or something along those lines, that looks a little closer to the mark. But and I seem to recall 2-0 would have been a 4-card limit raise, and he's clearly not big enough for that. But I think it's a little bit big. What do you think?
I would think so, yeah. Although on a very good day, this might make. He's off to a good start, he thinks, but when the ace of diamonds is offside, he's going to not have very many tricks.
One of the written commentators suggests that 3 hearts might indeed be a mixed raise, in which case that looks about right.
Well, I must say, I still have yet to understand just what a mixed raise is. And I know everybody plays them, and I still don't understand what it is.
It's like beauty, Kit. It's in the eye of the beholder. It's 4 trumps and, not a great hand of whatever you feel like at the moment. I think that's the true answer.
That's what I was afraid of.
No idea.
Sounds like you don't play those.
I've had partners insist on putting them on the card, and I've never made the call and been confused when my partner said he had one.
I was confused for a while, and now Fred finally defined it as a limit raise with 4 trumps, and I said, okay, good. That I can understand. Hampson, I guess, trying to figure out whether to split or not. It won't make a difference unless Nextruff is peaking.
Put in the 9, it would have made a difference, I think. But that's a little bit double dummy.
If Nextruff put in the 9, I'd sit back a little farther from the table.
I mean, so even though Nextruff could take a pitch in a dummy off the Queen of Diamonds, he just does not have enough tricks. 5 spades, a heart is 6, a diamond is 7.
He's got 7 spade tricks, 1 heart trick, and 1 diamond trick. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Of course, when we count the tricks that way, maybe Nextruff should have let the 8 of diamonds ride. Since,
well, maybe,
really, where's his 10th trick coming from? Assume the King of Diamonds wins. Where's his 10th trick? South has to get in once to play a second trump, and he only has 9 winners. Something to think about, isn't it?
Actually, it is.
Ah, but wait. His 10th trick may have just appeared on this King of Hearts shift.
I still don't see it.
What? It's a second heart trick.
Yep, I do see that.
Ruff a diamond, spade finesse, ruff a diamond, spade, claim. No? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
He can't
right.
get back to his hand.
You don't have enough spades to do all that, right?
Well, he has enough spades to do all that, but then he can't get back to stop the heart ruff.
That's right.
He will try the Queen of Clubs off dummy just in case South has a stiff heart. I thought. Good grief, Greco's thinking here?
Yeah, what is there to think about?
Oh, I see. The 9 of hearts is a danger card if his partner doesn't have the 3rd heart, and his partner did play the 10 of hearts.
Did he make that play from 10-3rd? His partner would not make that play from 10-3rd of hearts to set up the 9 of hearts.
You wouldn't think so, would you? But the fact that he's thinking at this point, why does partner play the 10 of hearts anyway? I mean, they play upside down signals, I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, so this position came out of nowhere. Hard to believe.
I find it interesting that oftentimes when you're trying to avoid a ruff, playing on the suit in which you're trying to avoid a ruff is often better than playing on another suit and letting the opponents play that suit themselves.
Yeah, good point. Anyway, Greco finally worked out that maybe his partner wouldn't play the 10 of hearts from 10-3. But it got scary.
Well, if East opens a spade here, it may talk north-south out of the normal 3-no trump. But East has instead opened his nebulous diamond, which will talk him out of nothing.
If you're going to open light, a third seed of favorable, I prefer one spade also. It's hardly automatic to open this third seed. I don't want to suggest that it is.
Oh, why not open it? I mean, it just boils down to the opponents bid better when they open than when you open. There's no downside to opening. The only question is what. And playing precision, you don't have to worry about the one diamond bid being a lead director. But you do have to worry about a partner bidding too much over one spade.
No, that's actually a good point. I hadn't thought about that. I don't play precision often enough, and I'm sure you have more experience with partner getting carried away than I do. But your point's well taken. A diamond is just a noise, and he's probably still can be corralled if you open a diamond. In a spade, you may have opened Pandora's box.
Yeah, I mean, opening a diamond, he can't do anything. He doesn't even,
right.
Since he doesn't
right.
know what you have, and he knows there's not enough strengths for gain, because he can't have anything, and you might not have anything, there's nothing he can do. It's safe. Now, of course, there's arguments for opening a spade for the lead, but that's a different issue.
Yeah, you get lead directs, and plus sometimes, partner has king third of spades like here, and all of a sudden the opponents wind up playing their normal 3-no trump contract in a 4-3 fit or a 4-4 minor suit fit or an apart score instead of their making game. So there are ways for each way to win or lose. I guess the real way to lose for to open one spade is to have left-hand opponent overcalls 2 diamonds or 2 hearts, and your partner has a limit raise in spades, so has to cue bid, and all of a sudden you're like way too high and in danger of going for your life on a part scoreboard.
Right. I'm not saying one spade is wrong. I'm saying there's actually a significant difference between playing precision and playing standard on this opening bid. A really significant difference.
A couple things. One, the no trump bid. You have to have something to bid a no trump. I think this is kind of a toward the bottom range, but some people, I think particularly beginners, bid a no trump where they have any stopper at all. And you really do have to have some value. This is kind of right at the bottom. And then secondly, I think it's safe to say if Rodwell had chosen to open a spade on the lead director, as Michael suggested, I don't think these guys would be in 3-0. It would be go a spade and maybe a takeout double and a spade raise, and I don't see these hands heading to 3-0. Neither one of them with 3 small is going to commit to that. So that was a possible chance to steal the board. As it is, with both the king of clubs on side and the queen of diamonds on side, and spades 4-3, this is going to make plus 600.
Yeah, it turned out very unlucky for East-West, certainly, or very lucky for North-South. That's for sure. And the fact that North, as you say, was on the dead bottom of its 1-no trump response, which was when South just had enough to a bid game opposite that. And to finesse was wrong.
To be honest, I'm a little surprised South just didn't overcall 1-no trump over 1 diamond. He's 18, so he's a tiny bit heavy, but he doesn't really have a source of tricks or a whole lot of good spots.
Well, how bad is double? It might get you to a hearts that you wouldn't have gotten to otherwise. Like what can go wrong?
Yeah, I confess I would double with ace and a diamond. That's just kind of magical, and it looks sort of normal to double to me. So would you sit with Rodwell's hand, or would you run? And if so, what would you run to?
I'd run to the nearest cover.
Well, they don't let you do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure, I'd sit. I mean, it's only starts 180, 380. That's a slower start than 200, 500.
And you're balanced, so you don't have a great spot to run to, and maybe partners made one of these doubles where he's got a long good suit to lead and a couple aces on the side to get in. Not all the doubles of one no trump are made with balanced 18 counts.
In all seriousness, isn't it just a matter of seven tricks are easier than eight? Particularly when you don't have a trump suit.
Well, that's all true in theory. I can't disagree with any of that, but in practice, my partner does not have the running suit with the two outside aces. And when I sit one no trump doubles with these hands, you're right, it is 180, 380, 580. But when I run to two clubs, they're not always able to get me. Our partner can bid two diamonds. So I actually do sympathize with two clubs, even though I fully understand all the arguments for sitting out one no double with a balanced hand.
They don't have to get you. I mean, you could just go down 300 on doubles. It's just as bad, basically. I mean, here they didn't get you, and where would you rather be, defending one no double or playing two hearts, if you had your choice?
I think Mextreth's double of one no trump was not penalty. It was a puppet to two clubs to show either a one suited minor hand or maybe a very strong hand. I think maybe this sequence showed a good hand with short heart suit.
Well, okay, you're right. This has all been academic if this wasn't penalty.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their methods are here. I mean, they may be treating Greco-Hampson's opening one no trump as a weak no trump, which wouldn't surprise me, in which case the double probably would be penalty, though.
Well, the Greco-Hampson no trump is ostensibly 14 to 16, and let's assume that they upgrade a fair number of 13 counts into that range. Would you treat that as strong or weak, Kit?
I don't worry about whether the opponents upgrade or not. I just have a straight number on their card, and if it's above that number, it's strong no trump. If it's below that number, it's a weak no trump, period.
Do you have a single number for either the top or the bottom of their range, and if it includes that number, then it's weak or strong?
Right. I look at the I look at the bottom. If the bottom is 12 or lower, it's weak. If it's 13 or higher, it's strong.
The rule I've been using recently is if the no trump can contain 14, I treat it as strong. But I think as long as you have one clear-cut rule that has one single number in it, you'll at least avoid having misunderstandings with your partner about which defense you're using, and that's the main thing. Because the defense actually doesn't matter that much, whether it's weak or strong. But it matters a whole lot that you're playing the same one as your partner.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. I don't think it makes a difference what number you use. Just you have to be absolutely sure there's no mix-up.
Which is why the whole weak no trump or strong no trump is kind of confusing, because that's all great when you're playing against 15 to 17s and 10 to 12s or 12 to 14s, but then you run into this pair that's playing 13 to 16, and you just don't know. So it can be really important to have a clearly defined rule that covers all situations.
Why in the world did he shift to a diamond?
I was wondering that myself.
Jack, the clubs. That just has me floored. I think he thought that Mextreth had. I don't know what he thought was thinking.
Indeed, as the spectators have pointed out, that they use their weak no trump defense against any third seat opening one no trump. So the double, in fact, was just 14 plus any shape. so I don't know what East's 2-club run it was, or whether that was natural or not, but West chose well to bid this 4-card heart suit, and maybe the defense is
Okay,
not on as we think.
Okay, we're taking back this diamond shift. That's a little better.
In the meantime, I do think this is better than defending one no doubled. When the double started out with 4 clubs and two aces, and looks like we like to get 7th trick coming from somewhere. So.
Well, he happened to get a rather favorable spade lead. That didn't hurt the close.
I want to especially thank Jan Martell, our Viewgraph operator, and Kit and Jack for helping with the voice commentary. Or I guess I was helping Kit, really, is sort of the way it feels. And all the online commentators and spectators. And once again, at the last board, I seem to be in a time warp going backwards in time over and over again, which is making me dizzy.
Okay, so now it looks like Nickell played ace of hearts and then the jack of hearts to try to retain an entry to dummy. Okay, this is making a little more sense in a way. No spades in S here?
It looks like you have to take back everything now that the play has been redone 3 times. It's gone from making to minus 200, so maybe it was right to set one no double.
Well, we'll get an. Okay, this looks like an average result of minus 100.
Let's
that seems to be a compromise. Well, that seems to be a compromise among the various plays that were shown.
All right, thanks, Kit. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Specs.